You can turn a casual YouTube viewer into a $3,000 client who is begging to work with you, but only if you take them through 3 specific psychological shifts. Most business owners try to get those results by chasing views, but those views don't matter if there is no trust. Usually, that strategy of chasing views just attracts people who are broke. So today, I'm breaking down the YouTube funnel structure that automates that psychological journey. And it's the exact funnel I use to help business owners like Caleb Oku 10x his revenue and add almost 3,000 members to his low-ticket school group. But before we look at the funnel, we have to look at who's entering it. Because if this part is broken, the rest of the strategy is useless. Because if you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one with purchasing power. In the viewer's mind, the very first question they ask subconsciously within the first 3 seconds is this video for me? Will I get value from it? So if you're targeting a broad audience with generic advice, the viewer will just categorize you as just another YouTuber trying to go viral. But if you target a specific avatar, like a B2B SaaS founder or a 7-figure agency owner, the viewer thinks this person understands my specific pain, and they will immediately view you as a specialized consultant that can solve their problems. For example, if you run an email marketing agency targeting D2C brands, you should be creating content on things like how to increase LTV without raising ad spend, or how to create this email flow that retains customers. That attracts D2C companies just focused on increasing their profit margin. But you have to go deeper than just that. You need to understand their daily reality. What are the fires they're putting out every morning? Are they waking up to 50 urgent Slack messages? Are they terrified that if they take a vacation, their operations will break? When you can describe their lifestyle and their private frustrations better than they can, they instantly trust that you have the solution to their problems. And the more specific the pain you call out, the higher the quality of client you attract. So once you have that customer avatar locked in, here's how the psychology shifts at each stage of the funnel. Starting with stage 1. The viewer is problem aware. They have a specific headache and they're actively searching for a solution. When a potential client has a problem, their first instinct is to go to the YouTube search bar. Let's say a business owner is burning cash on marketing. So out of desperation, because they think they can fix it, they type in how to run Facebook ads for beginners into YouTube to see if there's a magical solution. YouTube will then immediately recommend the top videos on that category ranked in search. And the viewer will pick the one that looks the most promising and then watch it. And this is where the psychological transition begins. The viewer takes that advice from that video. Maybe it's a specific targeting hack for Facebook ads or a creative framework they can apply, and they do it. And, well, it works. They get a result, they see their ads working, and it officially creates the first layer of trust based on the competence of the guy that taught them Facebook ads. But they don't know that business owner's story yet. They only know that listening to this person makes them money or saves them time. The psychological trigger here is reciprocity. The business owner gave them value first without asking for a single penny. They have gone from a random stranger to a person they could trust for a specific thing, which is Facebook ads. So then the YouTube algorithm kicks in. Because the viewer watched the video all the way through and engaged with it, the algorithm notices it. And the algorithm understands that they value that specific type of content. So the next time they open their YouTube homepage, the algorithm pushes that business owner's channel's face right to the top of their feed. And that business owner is no longer someone that the viewer has to search for anymore because they're now right in front of them. But seriously now, do you really think a single YouTube video is enough to get them to book a call? Even if that business owner promotes either their agency to do the work for them or a course that teaches how to do Facebook ads in more detail, the viewer is not ready. At this stage, the business owner has only proved they are useful. Now they must prove they are an actual authority to build real trust within the viewer. So now that the algorithm is serving them your content, we enter stage 2. This is where the actual magic happens. This is where the 7 hours of trust are built. And if you never heard of that rule, it is a marketing principle stating that a prospect needs roughly 7 hours of interaction with a brand before they feel comfortable making a big purchase decision. On platforms like LinkedIn, X, or Instagram, getting 7 hours of attention will take months, mainly because you're fighting for seconds in a scrolling feed. On YouTube, it's a whole different story. A viewer could binge watch your content and hit that threshold in a single weekend. And once the viewer knows that you could already solve a problem that they are dealing with, they need to know if you understand the bigger picture of that skill that they teach. And these are where your deep dive or educational videos come in. The goal here is to shift their beliefs. You're going to move them away from how to click this button, and you're moving them towards how to think about this industry. So some video idea examples you could talk about are why insert topic is dying, where you just tear down their current belief on a certain topic and then you replace it with a new belief that you came up with. Another topic is the future of niche/topic/mechanism in year, where you find all these stuff that people will normally not talk about later, or unique stuff you developed after years of being in that industry. And then you move on to the last topic that I suggest, which is why most people fail at X and how to fix it. We just identify the most common stuff that people fall into in that topic, and then you just offer a solution on how to fix it. So now you're moving this viewer from this person is useful to I agree with this person's worldview. You're now leveraging the exact same psychology used to build cults. A cult works because it establishes an us versus them dynamic, and it requires a leader, and that leader is that business owner's YouTube channel. And it requires a shared enemy, which is the old way of doing things, or bad advice that industry the business owner is in is feeding them. So when the viewer watches these videos, they aren't just watching YouTube content. They're joining a tribe, which creates a parasocial relationship between the viewer and the business owner. They start to feel like they know you personally. They spend their lunch breaks listening to you speak. You end up becoming a familiar voice in their head. And the funny thing about this is that business owner doesn't even know about that viewer's existence at all. So this is just indoctrination. You're teaching them how to think. If they agree with the diagnosis of your problem, which is this topic sucks, they will immediately trust your prescription, which is your offer that fixes that thing. And this is where they stop comparing you to everyone else and they decide they just want you. They trust your expertise and they have bought into your belief system and they feel like they know you on a personal level. But there is one last psychological barrier standing between them and booking a call into that business owner's offer. At this point, you have done the heavy lifting. In stage 1, you proved you were useful, and in stage 2, you proved you were a leader they want to follow. The viewer trusts you. They like your worldviews, and they want to be part of the tribe you built. That tribe being your offer. But they have one final psychological barrier: risk. The wallet will stay shut because they have self-doubt. It's like they're standing on the edge of a cliff, staring down, and the brain is just screaming danger. They are already thinking, I know this works for you because you are an expert, but will it work for me? They think their situation is unique. They think their market is harder, or they think their product is weirder, or they're just not lucky. And this is where you deploy the social proof content that will kill all those final objections. To do this, you need to make 3 specific type of videos. So the first one is a deep dive client interview. This is where you interview clients or students on their success. You need to interview someone who was stuck exactly where the viewer was, and then you just talk about what they're doing before they joined, the near failures they had, and how they joined you and you fixed everything. The goal of this video is for the viewer to watch it and think, hey, that is literally me. The next type of videos you should be doing are case study breakdowns. This is where you just break down results of a successful client or student. So you title the video, how we took this client from, let's just say, $0 to $50,000 a month in email revenue. You show the raw numbers, the workflows, the back end, all the stuff that will normally appeal to the logical side of people's brains. Because now you just prove that the results that you are showing aren't luck and you've done this before. And then the last one, which is the story about you, where this is where you talk about your failures, your struggles, and the hero's journey you went through to get to where you are right now. When you share your story, you're being vulnerable to all these people. And when you create vulnerability, people will trust you more because you gave them personal information. And the psychology here is simple. You're mirroring. When you see someone who looks like them and have the same problems as them and achieve the dream outcome using your systems, the risk evaporates. There are no more objections left. So then what do? They scroll down to the description, they click the link, and they book the call. But there's a difference between booking a call from a YouTube video to a call from an ad or cold outreach. They're not booking a call to be sold to. They're booking a call to buy. When they show up on Zoom, they don't have their arms crossed asking, what do you do exactly? They already have their credit card out asking, all right, I've seen all your videos. You deliver fantastic value. I love them. When can we start? The videos handled everything, the objections, the skepticism. It built all the trust needed to close that exact prospect. For the closer or the business owner taking that call, it will be the easiest close of their life. And yeah, that's the psychological journey viewers go through. If you build your channel with this structure, you can easily sign multiple clients without getting millions of views. However, executing this consistently is hard. It takes a lot of time to script the videos. You need to edit the videos. You need to create the thumbnails, all while you're running a business. So if you're interested in having me and my team handle that whole process for you, you could click the link in the description. And if you found this video valuable, you'll find this video right over here on how I find video ideas as valuable too. So click this right over here.